I've always been fascinated by the idea of fasting, but I never had the courage, say, to try it. So voluntarily going without food for a period of time. And eventually I gave it a shot. My wife was doing a 24-hour fast, and I decided to join her, at least to start it, and then see how it would actually go. I just wanted to explore what happens in my mind, mainly when I break a pattern that I've been following my whole life, basically eating regularly throughout the day. And well, I always seen myself as a small laboratory where I can experiment with different things, and fasting was another opportunity to do a little exploration, say, basically an experiment with my body and mind. How would they react to this practice? So the body sent clear signals. Hunger, yes, but no weakness, no drop in energy. On the contrary, okay, let's cross this crossroad safely. Yes, I was saying, on the contrary, I felt stronger as the day went on, and this taught me something important about this body, or actually about the actual body-mind machine that I happen to inhabit. And the first lesson was often when I reach for food, it's not out of real need. It's a habit. I grew up with a strict schedules for breakfast, lunch, dinner, and snacks between meals, and that created a strong pattern, which of course then reflected in the hunger signals. And these hunger signals that I received throughout the day was not a need, it was just a habit. And then we learn to pay attention to habits, good and bad, nourishing ones, less nourishing ones. And fasting made me reflect, who is eating when I'm eating? A habit, a need to maintain a routine, a sense of boredom, looking for perhaps quick pleasure through food. Again, and then we study this koan, this question, who am I? And fasting helped me practice this question more deeply. Not to find a fixed answer, forget about that, but to clearly see what I am not. I'm not a habit. I'm not a fixed eating pattern. I'm not many of the things I think I am. And noticing this helps clearing the mind a little bit. If the body can keep going much longer than the hunger suggests, the hunger sensations suggest, what am I really? And fasting in this last period has become a little portable Zen practice for me. 24 hours of presence with whatever arises when I try to break a strong habit. Oh wow, what is that? So this principle applies to all habits we might consider unhealthy. I'm not saying obviously that eating food is unhealthy, of course not. But we might actually notice unhealthy habits in us. We notice the signals they send, and we try to stay with the signals. And we could, or we might ask, what happens if we don't react? And that is not always easy. It can feel at times unbearable to remain present to uncomfortable signals of feelings. I've been there many times, but as we notice, acknowledge, accept, and do our very best not to react, something seems to open up. When I fast, there are moments when I would be easier to give in to hunger, even though my body feels fine. But not giving in, again, it seems to open something up. It seems to reclaim a sense of power over habits we recognize in ourselves. And again, here I'm talking about those habits that we might consider unhealthy for us. So hunger comes, the mind echoes old habits. In those moments, I learn patience, presence, and an insight into what I am not. Of course, I'm not suggesting anyone should fast or not. What I'm hoping to share here is an invitation to notice the habits we might have that we consider unhealthy, and try spending 24 hours, so whichever time we could actually spare for this exercise, just observing them without reacting. What can we learn by simply observing?